Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, the full version is available on Patreon. I'll be uploading all my content there going forward.
Chapter 1. Phew. It's been a while since I came to this world. In a small dark room, Ling Yu sighed helplessly. That's right. He is a time traveler. A few days ago, I woke up and found that I was already in the world of Xingyue. This moment, the Holy Grail War has not yet been held. He himself doesn't have any magic circuits or heroic spirit command spells, and even the money in his pocket is only enough for him to live for a few days. What should I do? This is a bit of a headache. Ling Yu was helpless. You must know that in the Xingyue world, gas explosions are a common occurrence. Fuyaki is either going nuke or on his way. Whether it will survive then is still a question. But that's all I have left. I'm afraid he can survive to the end of the Holy Grail War. Ling Yu thought so. My mind started to spin rapidly. How to survive in this world? Suddenly. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully activating Moonstalker Encyclopedia system. Hear this voice. Ling Yu was shocked suddenly. The whole person became energetic. Really? Every traverser will have his own plug-in. It seems that this should be its own plug-in system. Unexpectedly, it was activated at this time. Type Moon Terrier Encyclopedia System. It's not as easy as it sounds. Ling Yu seems to have guessed the main function of this system. But he still has to testify first. Then, silently clicked on his own system, wanting to see what capabilities his system has. Really? Just as he imagined. This is a system of encyclopedias about type moons. As long as Ling Yu counts the famous stocks of Xingyue that she knows one by one, you will be able to get rich rewards. Such as summoning heroic spirits, possessing magic circuits, and all kinds of strange props. I see. After understanding the main functions of the system, the corners of Ling Yu's mouth rose slightly. It seems that at least he can survive in this world. Even if he has this system, he can't become the number one person in the heavens. It is very easy to just get some special abilities and live happily. You don't have to worry about things like money anymore. Think here. Ling Yu began to think about the famous stocks that he was going to count next. Then I know a lot of stocks. A variety of moon terriers. Ling Yu can come at your fingertips. The stock of the moon. Ling Yu murmured in a low voice. Then I know a lot of stocks. A variety of moon terriers. Ling Yu can come at your fingertips. Like I can play with this leg for a year. It's all the world's fault. Whoever gives it will be stabbed as a counter-teacher treasure. Since ancient times, the spearman is lucky. As long as it is a living thing, even if it is a god, I will kill it for you. The spinning blue lancer. All kinds of memes. After some thinking, Ling Yu quickly decided on the direction of her first video. Then it's up to you to appear in the first video, enthusiastic citizen Mr. Jin. Now that the direction has been decided, Ling Yu also started to make videos. After a few days. Just finished your video completely. A huge blue light curtain appeared in front of you, Ling Yu. Suddenly a dialog box popped up. Host, do you choose to publish the enthusiastic citizen Mr. Jin of the MIM Encyclopedia? Release. Cancel. Without hesitation, Ling Yu directly pressed the release button. Right now, in the entire Fate/Zero world, in the eyes of these very special people, the world has undergone tremendous changes. A huge light curtain suddenly appeared in front of their eyes. This light curtain is invisible to the people of common. Then a voice sounded slowly. MIM Encyclopedia Enthusiastic Citizen Mr. Jin is officially broadcast. Pause time. A group of people were shocked immediately. Weber Velvet looked at the screen in front of him in shock. MIM Encyclopedia? Enthusiastic Citizen Mr. Jin? What the hell is this? Who developed this magic? Why did it appear in front of my eyes? This is... Tohsaka Shishin also looked solemnly at the huge light curtain in front of him. Kotomine Kaire, who was at Shishin's side, also looked puzzled. Teacher, what is this? Tohsaka Toki shook his head. Obviously, he couldn't understand what was happening in front of him. Magic, or is it magic? Tohsaka frowned slightly. On the days when the Holy Grail War is about to start, is it good or bad that what happened? But it's okay. The holy relics they prepared before have arrived. In this Holy Grail War, they can definitely summon the king in legendary. The Holy Grail War will definitely be easily won. And except for these people. On the other side in Einsborn Castle, a man with a very vicissitudes of life was smoking a cigarette silently. He stared at the screen in front of him without saying a word. It's just that my mind is spinning quickly. What kind of magic is this? And it appeared at such a time. Could it be for the Holy Grail? He found that he couldn't destroy the light curtain in front of him at all. Never mind. Let's take another look. And at this moment in the Hall of Valor, it's not calm at all. Chapter 2. Ha 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 ha. What the hell is this? Is it a treasure? It seems quite interesting. You can still see such things in such a boring place in Yingning's shop. Conqueror King Yiskandar looked at the light curtain in front of him and smiled. Obviously very excited. Northeast Arrow, it seems interesting that even my all-knowing and omniscient star can't see through this light curtain. Gilgamesh showed an interested expression. Encyclopedia. A little curious. But I don't know why. When I saw the words of Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen, Gilgamesh felt vaguely ominous. It even made him have an urge to pull out the EA. And on the other side, in the world line of Fko, in a very secret building in Antarctica, a very surprised voice came out. That was the voice of Romani Ekman, the doctor of Chaldea. At this moment, he looked at the light curtain in front of him in surprise. What exactly is this? Obviously, he was also surprised. The sight in front of you. It's something I never expected. Encyclopedia. It looks like some popular science words in the world? Dr. Roman was thinking. Sudden. A voice came from behind. Romani Ackerman, what are you doing? You made such a big noise. A beautiful woman with white hair walked into Roman's room. The tone is also extremely aggressive. I don't talk about fishing often. But now the day when the lights of civilization observed by Chaldeas are getting closer, why are you still so leisurely? Olga Marie said angrily. Director, don't rush to get angry, just look over there. Looking in the direction pointed by Romani Ackerman. Olga Marie also made a surprised sound. Could this be a precursor to the disappearance of the lights of civilization? No, it's clearly not. Romani Ackerman said affirmatively. Because he could detect that there was no malicious intent in this light curtain. Just when everyone was talking about it, the screen displayed in front of everyone's eyes also began to gradually change. Then a paragraph of text appeared. Heroic spirits are the existences of heroes whose great achievements are left as legendary after death and have become objects of faith. Normally, heroic spirits are summoned by the world as the power to protect humans. And what humans summon are servants. Whether they are heroes, anti-heroes, or gods, they all have very powerful strengths. However, they are also people with flesh and blood, and they will also have the joys and sorrows of normal human beings, and they will also have their own defects. Next, we will let everyone see different servants. Moon Terrier Encyclopedia, Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen. Look at the text on the screen, and then match it with just the right background music. Pause time. Everyone's attention was attracted. Interesting, is this a video about heroic spirits? An enthusiastic citizen, Mr. Jin. Even after consulting a lot of information, he still can't figure out why this heroic spirit is in the world of Fate/0. Kenneth looked at the words on the screen. The corners of the mouth rose slightly. As one of the 12 monarchs of the Clock Tower of the Magic Association, the monarch of the Ore section, El Meloy, he is also one of the participating parties in the Fourth Holy Grail War. He thinks he knows the heroic spirit servant very well. But he really couldn't remember which follower this Mr. Jin was. If you listen to the description of this enthusiastic citizen, this servant should be a very good person. Kenneth thought so. And on the other side, Weber looked at the words in the light curtain in front of him. Heroic spirit. The tone is full of envy. Although he is the third-generation magician of the Velvet family, due to various reasons, both the number of magic circuits and the quality of magic imprints are extremely poor. Participate in the Fourth Holy Grail War at this moment. Not because Webb had any specific desires, but just want to be recognized by everyone. But if you want to do this, you must have a powerful heroic spirit. Therefore, he stole the heroic spirit's relic prepared by Kenneth. It doesn't matter, if I have that, I will definitely be able to summon that king. And in the Yinglan Hall. Ha 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 ha, it turned out to be a video about heroic spirits. I don't know which hero is it talking about. The heroic voice of Yi Skandar, king of conquerors, sounded. Humph, boring. It turned out to be the video of heroic spirit Mr. Jin, an unknown person I have never heard of. It seems that any cat or dog voice can be included in the video. Gilgamesh's disdainful voice sounded. Is it actually a video about heroic spirits? It makes me wonder who this so-called Mr. Jin is. Joan of Arc also cast her eyes on the light curtain in front of her curiously. Chapter 3. A few words appeared on the screen again. Now the stock-taking begins, everyone is free to express their opinions, and all of them will be presented on the screen in the form of barrage. The first stock, Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen. Accompanied by the disappearance of the text. An extremely handsome blonde man appeared on the screen. And also accompanied by a short introduction. Gilgamesh. His true identity is the fifth king of Uruk, the city-state of the early Sumerian dynasty in ancient Mesopotamia. At the same time, the protagonist of the oldest human epic Gilgamesh epic, the oldest hero king in human history. In order to suppress the growth of human power after excessive reproduction, the ancient gods combined the human royal family with the goddess to create the heavenly bond of the gods to restrict human beings. He is a hero born between gods and humans. He has the extremely high godhood of 2/3 gods and 1/3 humans and the perspectives of both gods and humans. It can be said to be the original scripture of all myths and the template of heroes. This time, it can shock the people in the Fate/0 world to the extreme. What? It turned out to be that king, how is this possible? Tohsaka Toki-chen was obviously a little surprised. Because Gilgamesh is the absolute trump card he is going to summon. But now the information about Gilgamesh was released by this person, is it a coincidence or? This should be just a coincidence. But this video has such a high evaluation of that king. It seems that this Holy Grail War should be won. Yan Fengqilai comforted Shi Chen. And on the other side. Hey? It turned out to be a video about the King of Heroes? But judging from the information about that king, no matter how you say it, that guy has nothing to do with enthusiastic citizens. At this moment, Emi Yakiritsugu looked at the screen curiously. After all, such a servant is likely to be summoned in the next Holy Grail War. This will also allow him to understand the strength of the heroic spirit. So that's it, it's the King of Heroes, but does this video rate him so highly? Then if he is summoned. Alice Veal frowned slightly. And in the Hall of Valor. What? The enthusiastic citizen Mr. Jin deserves to be Gilgamesh. How can this guy not be called the kind of enthusiastic citizen? Mordred sounded surprised. And the evaluation is still so high, the wedge of heaven created by the gods, the original scriptures of all myths, the template of heroes? This video is not made by you, king of heroes, right? Cu Kulane complained. Humph, Northeast arrow joke, the king will not sing his own merits, but the author of this video is quite knowledgeable. Gilgamesh let out a characteristic laugh. Obviously he doesn't know what he will experience next in this video. Hey, you obviously said before that this is just a low-level third-rate follower. Everyone looked at Gilgamesh, who laughed. He also said quietly in his heart. While they were discussing, the screen began to be played further. Fuzu, Fuyuki, 2000, Fifth Holy Grail War. When seeing this word, immediately, everyone was not calm again. How is this possible? In 2000, it's only 1990. Could this be a video about the future? Besides, it's only been 10 years. It doesn't take 60 years to wait for the prophet in Fuyuki City's ley lines. Will the Holy Grail War be resumed once the amount accumulated is enough for the Holy Grail soldiers? Kenneth's expression was a little bewildered. There is only one possibility, and that is that this Holy Grail War has failed. Every time the Holy Grail War succeeds in making a wish, it will indeed take 60 years of accumulation, but... The barrage of the old bug floated across the screen. And Tohsaka Shishin also quickly picked up the old bug's words. If there is no winner in the Holy Grail War, or other accidents occur, resulting in the desire of the winner not being fulfilled, then there is no need to accumulate so much magic power. At this moment, everyone also understood. If this video is true, it means that there is no winner in this Holy Bell War. Immediately, Emi Yakuritsugu's expression suddenly became ugly. However, he quickly calmed down his emotions. After all, he decided to become a partner of justice from the time he decided. Already had the consciousness to abandon everything. He will never let what happened between Xiao Dao and Xiao Lei happen again. For this reason, he did not hesitate to kill his own father, and used missiles to blow up Natalia, whom he regarded as his mother. So this video is not enough to change his determination. Instead, it sounded the alarm for him. This time the Holy Grail War, I have to be more careful. Chapter 4. Soon, the video starts playing. In the night sky, a beautiful girl in a princess dress descended from the sky. What appeared under her was a world completely different from reality. In the dark forest, there are doll animals with strange shapes. And the mysterious castle full of strange atmosphere. It looks like a fairy tale world. However, no matter who it is, they can see that the scene in front of them is not simple. At this moment, Tohsaka Toki, who was watching the video, was no longer calm. What's going on here? That's Sakura, definitely Sakura, right? Tohsaka's time is 10 or even 90% certain. The girl in that video is definitely her biological daughter Sakura. Although it has grown up a lot. But Tohsaka Toki-chen could still recognize it. If my own daughter, why did she become like this? It's so weird. Damn it, why did Sakura become what she is now? All of this is Shishin's fault. You can even take care of your own daughter like this. A trace of anger ignited in Matukuria's eyes. Because he knows. The scene in front of him may have something to do with his father Matazukan. Because Shishin is currently considering the transition of Tokozakura to Mata's house. And he knew all too well what Matazukan had done. Absolutely, to save Sakura. At this moment, the screen continues to play. Sakura Matu in a white dress looks like a princess in a fairy tale. Matu Sakura is surrounded by dolls and puppets. Just walk around like this. Accompanied by them, Matu Sakura also began to hum weird nursery rhymes. Walking slowly, head shaking, confused. Whirring in circles, tinkling. The innocent girl is accompanied by various dolls. Plus that weird humming. It was supposed to be a very warm scene, but it became very weird. At last. The moment an innocent girl steps into the castle. The heavy door slowly closed. Yet everyone can clearly see it. At the last moment when the door was about to close, the eyes of the 7 puppets glowed red, staring at the girl's back. What the hell is going on here? Isn't this the Holy Grail War? How did the division suddenly become so big? Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale, no, or should Su Ying call it a dark fairy tale? Weber obviously had some difficulty understanding the strange picture in front of him. And Tohsaka Shishin also fell silent at this moment. Those puppets? Could it be? He seemed to have guessed something. If you leave out the weird atmosphere, it's a wonderful fairy tale. Iris Veal frowned slightly as she looked at the screen. Well, although it looks like a fairy tale, it is not the fairy tale dream of some innocent girl. Emi Yakuritsugu also made his own evaluation. Hidden beneath that beautiful surface, it is a hell of endless horror. What the hell is going on with that kid? Joan frowned and looked at Sakura Matu on the screen. That girl. An ominous aura lingers all over. It's like a curse on the world. So that's how it is, no wonder, I will make a move 10 years later. See Matu's Sakura. Gilgamesh seems to have understood the reason for his action. Just when several people were talking, the screen changed again. I saw it in a black alley. The girl has lost consciousness. And the girl's beautiful appearance naturally attracted the eyes of some uninvited guests. 4 malicious gangsters walked towards the girl with their eyes. The screen changed again. Back to the dream castle again. Still the girl in white, surrounded by a weird doll, is circling around Cheyenne. However, the girl just tapped her finger lightly. In just an instant, one of the dolls turned into candies all over the floor. Seeing this, the other 3 dolls also felt fear and immediately ran away in all directions. However, the girl was a little more gentle. Immediately, the dolls turned into candies all over the sky again. Then the girl slowly put a candy into her mouth. And at this moment, in the dark alley, finally revealed your true nature. This article has already said that you should die. On a dark street, a blonde man in a motorcycle suit stood there at some point. It seems that he has been observing Mata Sakura's behavior, when he saw everything that happened in front of him. There was a look of disdain on his face. Chapter 5. This. If you read correctly, Sakura was eating people just now. Tohsaka Toki was a little unbelievable. This is completely different from the daughter in my impression. My daughter is so good. How is it possible to do this kind of behavior? What has she experienced in these 10 years? Ha 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 ha, I didn't expect the child of the Uensaka family to have such a strange hobby, but he successfully aroused the interest of the old man. I must adopt this child. Matazukin was somewhat interested. I want to adopt Mata Sakura even more. What? Sakura is actually eating people. Mata Korea's pupils instantly enlarged. And the sewers on the other side. Ryuna Shuk watched what happened on the screen. Said excitedly. Ho 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 ho. What the hell did I see? There is such a wonderful thing in this world. A girl who looks innocent and beautiful actually does something like cannibalism, ha 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 ha, this is the real call. On the other side, Emi Yakuritsugu's attention was not on Mata Sakura's cannibal body, but on the blonde man. That's the king of heroes in legendary Gilgamesh. Emi Yakuritsugu murmured. It should look like it's about to make a move. Then let me see. The strength of the king of heroes in legendary. Think so. Emi Yakuritsugu's eyes were also firmly fixed on the screen. This is the king of heroes in legendary. I'm really curious. What kind of abilities does he have? If possible, I really want to summon him. Kenneth also focused on Gilgamesh. And in the world of Fko, Chaldea and his party were also shocked. Did I read it right just now? That girl should be eating people. Turning 4 living people into dolls. Isn't this magic? Olga Marie frowned. Indeed, but that girl probably didn't do such a thing with her own power. Roman made his own analysis. However, that guy is the hero King Gilgamesh? You can feel his strength even through the screen. If he can be summoned, maybe. While Olga Marie was muttering, a gleam flashed in her eyes at the same time. Roman, on the other hand, was non-committal. But if you summon that guy, you really can't control it if you don't have any skills. After all, Gilgamesh himself was a very pleasant person. Just when several people were discussing, the screen continues to play. I saw Mata's Sakura on the screen even though I saw Gilgamesh. Still no response. Just like a walking dead. Step by step, he approached Jin Shining. And Jin Shining just looked at Mata's Sakura calmly. Then it's just an instant effort. The brilliance of gold shines brightly. Bloom in the air. Countless golden wormholes appeared behind the indifferent Gilgamesh. Glittering, so pretty. Mata Sakura said unconsciously. Next second. Call out. Suddenly, a gold sword shot out from the prince's vegetable bag. Puff. Accompanied by a voice sounded. This treasure directly penetrated Mata Sakura's body. Sakura. Seeing this scene, Tohsaka Toki-chen shouted directly. He had no doubts. If it is pierced by this treasure, it will definitely not survive. I do know why I call him Mr. Jin, this golden appearance looks like a nouveau riche. Weber's complaints flashed across the screen. See this comment? Gilgamesh in the Hall of Valor was not too happy. What is an upstart? I didn't expect King of Heroes, you have such ability. The King of Conquerors, Iskandar, sounded surprised. Although he has seen the appearance of Gilgamesh in the Hall of Valor, he has never fought against Gilgamesh. Naturally, he doesn't know his ability. Just when everyone had a small episode. The screen is still playing. Letting you die happily is considered kind to you. Gilgamesh, who was wearing plain clothes, said disdainfully. At the same time, he also released his king's treasure. Spiral sword, sword of honey. All kinds of treasures seem to be free of money. It shot at Sakura Matu. The sword pierced Mata Sakura's body mercilessly. In an instant, blood spattered. The scene was so tragic that people couldn't even look directly at it. Chapter 6. How is this possible? Tohsaka Toki, at this moment, has long lost its previous elegance. What exactly is going on? Why did my own daughter become like this? Cherry. Seeing his daughter become like this. Tohsaka Aoi has also been crying into tears. On the other side, Emi Yakiritsugu already frowned. What happened 10 years later? Did the existence called the King of Heroes appear as a servant 10 years later? He already had various guesses in his heart. And on the other side? Chaldea. Can this kind of behavior be called an enthusiastic citizen? Just brutally killing a girl like this? Olga Marie did not understand at all. On the other side, Romani Ackerman was non-committal. He has seen through the essence of that girl. Romani Ackerman is not incomprehensible for Winky to do this. It's rare to do something good. But that guy shouldn't be dead yet. There was a vague ominous feeling in Roman's heart. And in the Hall of Valor. Is this Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen? I see. This moment. The heroic spirits also understood what it meant to be an enthusiastic citizen. That guy really did something good. King of Conquerors Iskandar commented. Well, indeed, in a sense, it is also a brave act. Red A didn't think of it either. This King of Heroes actually has such a side. Humph ha 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 ha, let's not talk about the rest, it's already very obvious, since this king has already chosen to attack, no matter how powerful the enemy is, he should be dealt with, let alone just a little girl. The corners of Gilgamesh's mouth twitched slightly. He seemed very confident in his victory. Obviously, he didn't know. The self in the video is about to become the belly meal of a sick and beautiful girl. Back to the screen is still playing. Jin Shining was walking slowly towards Sakura Matu, whose body had been cut into several pieces step by step. However, his body shook suddenly. The whole person almost fell to the ground. Seeing that Jin Yingying's nose was about to make an intimate contact with the ground. At this moment, everything stopped. Gilgamesh stood up slowly. He turned his head to look at where the body was. This moment, one of his feet had sunk into the black mud. Not only that. What caught everyone's eyes was that that foot had been completely separated from Jin Shining's leg. You actually want to make me kneel? Gilgamesh in the video makes angry noises. Obviously very angry. To him, the king is haughty. How can you fall in front of others? And at this very moment, the viewers watching the video are not calm anymore. What, under that kind of attack, did that girl survive, and also broke a leg of the king in legendary? Kotomine Kaire murmured. It shouldn't be. That king should be invincible. How can you not even beat a little girl? And most importantly, it now appears that Gilgamesh is at stake. And his focus is still on whether he can kneel or not. Can such a servant really help his teacher win the Holy Grail war? Kotomine Kaire couldn't help but doubt this fact. And in the Hall of Valor, that girl is completely fine. Shakespeare said in shock. Obviously a little shocked. That girl is not a heroic spirit or anything like that. He can see it. That is without a doubt a purebred human being. No, at this time, Gilgamesh has lost his legs. At this time, your focus is on whether to kneel down or not. If you don't pay attention to this, your life will be gone. I can only say you the angle is indeed quite tricky. Mordred let out a groan of his own. Generally speaking, at this time, normal people should pay attention to whether they can run or not. But this guy? What do you know? It's just a leg. It doesn't matter if there is any problem. If the king's dignity is absolutely inviolable, how can the king kneel to other people? Gilgamesh said angrily. This moment, he is extremely angry. The self in the video actually had a leg broken. How can this be? Who made this video? If he finds out the author of this video, he will definitely go to him to have a heart-to-heart talk. Chapter 7. This moment, Gilgamesh looked at Mata Sakura, who had been cut into several pieces angrily. Normally, this is already dead and can't die anymore. However, the dead Mata Sakura stretched out her blood-stained right arm. Then, standing up tremblingly again, like a walking corpse. And the white skirt that was originally very clean was already covered with blood dripping bright red at this moment. UBD. This moment. In a state of extreme anger, Gilgamesh just waved his hand. Instantly. Immediately behind him appeared 7 or 8 gleaming golden treasures. Then he shot out violently. However, when these treasures were still a few meters away from Jian Tungling, it was swallowed up by a stream of black mud. Then those treasures that fell into the black mud were corroded by the black mud and became rusty. What the hell is this? If I read correctly, those things are all treasures. That heroic spirit named Gilgamesh released 7 or 8 weapons in an instant. Noble phantasm? However, although that heroic spirit is strong, but Emi Yakiritsugu looked at everything on the screen. He was also shocked by Jin Glittering's strength. But what scares him even more is the girl named Mata Sakura. Such a powerful hero cannot take down this girl. What happened 10 years later? That child is actually so powerful. Maybe. Matazukan sneered. Seems to be thinking about something. And in the FGO world line, I didn't expect that the king of heroes would have such a treasure, and he could use 7 or 8 treasures in an instant. Why does this treasure feel like he doesn't need money? If he really summons such a servant? Olga Marie said with anticipation. Don't think too much. Although the King of Heroes is very powerful, I believe you can see that the King of Heroes is no longer a threat to that girl at this moment. Romani Ackerman said lightly. The screen continues to play. Boom. I saw the scattered treasures interrupting the street lamps on the side of the road. Immediately afterwards, the street lamp also fell directly to the ground, and the light shone on Mata Sakura's body, which looked extraordinarily weird. At the same time, behind her was also the black shadow that appeared. And saw this scene. Gilgamesh seemed to have realized something. Immediately froze up. So, has it grown to this point? The voice accompanied by Gilgamesh just fell. Mata Sakura, whose face was blocked by purple bangs, suddenly raised the corners of her mouth slightly. Quickly, the figure of black behind him expanded wildly in an instant. Almost at the speed of light, he came to Gilgamesh. Accompanied by a click. Shadows can be clearly seen. The original shadow of Gilgamesh has lost his head. The gap is like a fountain, and blood gushes out crazily. At the same time, the picture also came to Mata Sakura's face. At this moment, he opened his mouth as if chewing something. And there is only a broken leg where Gilgamesh drilled just now. Immediately, everyone was stunned. This is a heroic spirit. Died so easily. And it was swallowed by a little girl? Is this a bit too embarrassing? I seem to understand why I call him Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen. It's so caring to give supper to hungry girls at night. Look at the picture on the screen. Weber was silent for a long time before complaining. I don't know why, but there's only one thing I'm concerned about, that is, the moment I saw the street lamp falling down, I knew something was going to happen to the King of Heroes and Legendary. Dire Muid also made his own complaints. Hiss. Just exiting the stage like this? Swallowed by a harmless girl? Enthusiasm is very enthusiastic. But how should I put it? It should have been a matter of righteousness, but it turned out to be embarrassing. Yiskandar also sympathizes with Gilgamesh. Obviously not clear. Gilgamesh has a lot to lose. Do you understand what is called the gold content of King Mangzan? And at this very moment, Gilgamesh's fist is also hard. Miscellaneous. Who made this video? I believe that if Ling Yu appeared in front of him, I'm afraid I'll get a very vicious beating right away. Of course, whether Gilgamesh can do it is another matter. But no matter what, at this moment everyone also understands what kind of stock the enthusiastic citizen Mr. Jin is. An enthusiastic citizen, Mr. Jin, whose full name is Gilgamesh, reminded Mata Sakura as a passerby that it would be too late if she did not commit suicide. A few days later, Mr. Jin delivered food to a hungry purple-haired beautiful girl Mata Sakura in the middle of the night. A perfectly lined leg and a pool of blood. Afterwards, a large word final gradually appeared on the screen. It represents the end of this talk. Chapter 8. Ding Dong. Congratulations to the host for completing the first video production and promoting it. You will be rewarded with 5 magic circuits. Just at the moment when the video playback ends. Quickly. The sound of the system also came to mind in Ling Yu's mind. And since this is the first time it has been completed, this time the special reward is a heroic spirit summoning card, permanent. Listen to the sound of the system. Ling Yu finally reacted. I see. Make a meme video and send it out, and there is such a reward. This moment, a card was quietly lying in Ling Yu's hand. That card glowed with the light of gold. That thing can be understood at a glance that it is the kind of SSR. This is the heroic spirit summoning card. And it's permanent. That is to say, there is no time limit for the heroic spirits summoned by oneself, and there is no need to return to the Hall of Valor. Unless it is to die in battle. In addition, there are 5 magic circuits. Ling Yu quickly observed the situation in his body. Really? Now I can really feel the existence of magic. And even though it's only 5. Although the quantity is mediocre, it is produced by the system. So its precision is overwhelming. The quality is undoubtedly top-notch. In other words, it is X level. It's not bad, let's keep it for now, and use it when I need it. Unfortunately, I don't have any holy relic in my hand now, and I don't know what kind of heroic spirit I can summon. Ling Yu began to think. After all, I am now in the moon world. And the place where I am located is Dongmu City, where the daily nuclear level is. If you don't have any whole cards in your hand, you might die. But fortunately, now I have a magic circuit and a hero summoning card. It is also a means of self-protection. You can rest easy now. Now there is no problem with self-protection, so what is the next video going to do? Ling Yu thought about it. Soon, he thought about the video he was going to make next. That's right, he intends to catch Gilgamesh with a fleece. The next famous scene is undoubtedly the famous scene of the hero king breaking his elbow. So, the direction of production was decided. Ling Yu started making videos non-stop again. At the same time. Really, I'm really curious. The video just now doesn't look fake. Could it be that it's really a video about the future? Emi Yakuritsugu also began to think about the reliability of the video. For now, that light curtain doesn't look like it was made by magic. Nor can it be destroyed. It seems that only some special people can see it. It's really curious what this could be. Sakura, my daughter, why did she become like that? What happened in these 10 years? At this moment, Tohsaka Toki-chen was also extremely puzzled. What the hell happened? That's why he made his daughter look like that. Could it be the Mata family? No matter what, I will never let that happen. Tohsaka Shishin quietly made up his mind. And in the Hall of Valor. Miscellaneous repair. Miscellaneous repair. Which miscellaneous repair made the video? Gilgamesh was furious. What the hell is this? My majestic hero king has become a girl's lunch? This is a disgrace to the Hall of Valor. This guy who counts the memes is really hurting his family. King of Heroes, forget it. It's just Tuyul's video, everyone is just Tuyul. Yiskandar said comfortingly. But everyone can see clearly. There was a smile on his face as he said this. It is clear. This is forcing a smile. The other heroic spirits also nodded with smiles on their faces. The entire Hall of Valor is filled with a happy atmosphere. However, I don't know what happened to that girl. Even the King of Heroes couldn't deal with it. Jean frowned slightly. Obviously a little worried. After all, such things are indeed very ominous. But since it can be used as a meme and made into a video, it shouldn't be a big problem. Thinking of this, Joan of Arc also slowly let go of her heart. Just when everyone was discussing the video. Next second. The screen in front of him changed again. Several large characters appeared on it. Moon Moon Encyclopedia, I have to admit, you are the stronger one now. Immediately. Gilgamesh's expression froze instantly. What's the meaning? For some reason, when I saw this subtitle, he had a strange premonition. Will the next video be myself? And except for Gilgamesh, the others were also stunned. I have to admit, now you are stronger? Could this be another interesting stock? Who would accept such a social death? Everyone is extremely curious. Chapter 9. This moment. Hey? This is. Ayako Ayazaka looked at the light curtain that suddenly appeared in front of her eyes. There was a voice of doubt. Moon Moon Encyclopedia, I have to admit, you are the stronger one now. No trace of magic, nor is it magic. Ayako Ayazaka frowned slightly. And on the other side. As the owner of the Garon Hall, Ayazaki Orange also noticed it. The light curtain that suddenly appeared in front of his eyes. No magic, and no sense of malice. It just appeared in front of my eyes. What the hell is this? I saw the magical power of Huo Red suddenly flashed in Aokai Chunzi's hand. The red flames of the intersection of two colors appeared instantly. Then he sprayed it on the screen in front of him in one breath. Boom! Hey? It can't be destroyed. It's kind of weird. Orange Aozaki obviously also had a strong interest in the screen in front of him. At the same time, because of the words that appeared on the screen, it also directly ignited everyone's discussion. After having the interesting talk of the previous enthusiastic citizen Mr. Jin, everyone is also more and more looking forward to what will happen next. After all, no one would have expected it. Heroic spirit, who has an extremely tall image in the hearts of countless people, has so many interesting things. This stock, no matter how you look at it, it will be a deflated stock. There was a faint smile on Weber's face. Obviously also extremely curious. What will be the next video? Boring. Emi Yakuritsugu said lightly. He is not watching the video here because of so-called curiosity. It's for intelligence gathering. Because of the heroic spirits appearing on the screen now, it is likely to be the opponent he will meet next. Which heroic spirit will it be? Tohsaka Shishin was also overwhelmed at this moment, and focused on the video in front of him. A new meme is about to start playing. Under Kotomine Kairei's voice, the video finally started playing. It was still a blonde man who directly came into view. There is no doubt about it. It is the protagonist of the previous video. Mr. Kim. I saw Gilgamesh burst into an unprecedented joyful laugh. Ha 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 ha. Gilgamesh lowered his head slightly, with one hand on his hips, his smiling shoulders were trembling. Then he covered his face with the other hand. The laughter grew louder. The movements are also getting more and more exaggerated. Ah! This video is Gilgamesh's video again? And there was a lightning strike at the opening, isn't this guy crazy? Weber let out a groan of his own. Why again, that king of heroes? Tohsaka Toki did not expect that the protagonist of this second video would be Gilgamesh. And smiling like a happy child. It's like drinking 2 caddies of fake wine. This, can only be said that Wang's taste is unique. Kotomine Kairei couldn't say anything. Humph, it's the king of heroes again. Isn't this video from 10 years later? Emi Yakuritsugu snorted coldly. But that kid who confronted the king of heroes. Iris Veal turned her attention to Emi Yashiro on the screen. That child seems to be human too. This is heroic spirit. Aozaki Orange was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, this turned out to be a video about heroic spirit. And in the Hall of Valor. This guy is really smiling. Cu Kulane complained. I don't know why. When I hear this kind of laughter, I also laugh along with it, ha ha ha. Da Vinci was also a little helpless. It can only be said that the laughter is somewhat contagious. It even made me laugh unconsciously. Ah ha ha ha. That's right, this is the king's figure. Ozymandias recognized Gilgamesh's laughter very much. After all, they are all members of Team Haha, Fog. But I didn't expect this guy to be able to upload 2 videos in a row, and it doesn't seem like a good thing to watch this video. I feel like I'm devastated again. Yiskandar looked at Shining on the screen. His mouth is merciless. But this time, it seems that Gilgamesh is still confronting a human. He won't lose to humans again, right? Mordred analyzed. Miscellaneous repair. Who the hell? They played my video twice in a row. This is too disgusting. Gilgamesh could no longer control his emotions. It's not that he hasn't tried using the omniscient and omnipotent star. But, sorry. He still doesn't know who made this video. Chapter 10. Are you serious? Let go of the only chance, and say you can save that little girl. The act of sacrificing yourself is all just hypocrisy. Haven't you realized this yet? Gilgamesh said so. A steadfast hypocrite indeed. Ah ha 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 ha. That's all, I'll praise you, brat. Gilgamesh said this to Emiya Shiro. At the same time, Gold's halos spread densely behind him. Gilgamesh has already prepared his offensive. And Emiya Shiro on the other side. Hearing Gilgamesh's words did not cause any fluctuations. Only the corners of the lips are slightly raised. Fake, hypocrite. Emiya Shiro sneered. I also accepted Gilgamesh's statement. Oh, it's not like that, because I'm indeed a fake. Saying so, Emiya Shiro also stretched out his hand into the air. Then he closed his eyes. Pause time. The surging magic power around Shiro Emiya surged. Oh. Watching Shiro Emiya's actions, Gilgamesh was obviously a little puzzled. I have always misunderstood me. My infinite sword system is not to make swords. There is only one thing I can do, which is to mold my heart into shape. Saying so, Emiya Shiro also began to chant his own mantra. I am the bone of my sword. This sword is made by nature. Magic engravings appeared faintly on the entire ground. The sound of crackling magic collisions continued. At the same time, at the place where Emiya Shiro's hands converged, a dazzling purple light blooms. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. Heart is like steel, heart is like glass. I have created over Athos and blades, undefeated across countless battlefields, unaware of loss, although not defeated. Nor aware of gain, however, there is no victory. Withstood pain to create many weapons. The Sri Lankan people are often alone. Waiting for one's arrival, cast the sword on the sword mound. I have no regrets. This is the only path. Thus, this life does not need any meaning. Accompanied by Emiya Shiro's voice. The magic power is like going crazy. My whole life was so limited. Blade works. This body is destined to be made by the infinite sword. Accompanied by this sentence just fell. Everything in front of him was instantly shattered. Everything starts to regenerate. Then flames appeared on the field. The raging fire turned into a barrier. As if recreating the world, the whole world has changed. Wilderness appeared behind Emiya Shiro. In front of him, there appeared a sword mound with countless swords arranged in disorder. It began to expand crazily. There are no living things here. All I have is the sword. This is the cemetery where the sword rests forever. In this world, there is no sword that does not exist. Countless swords are buried here. Apart from the mirror, the only thing I have is desolation. This is the world in Shiro Emiya's heart. This is the great magic known as the inherent barrier. Just a glance. Ayako Ayazaki saw clearly the magic used by Emiya Shiro. The inherent enchantment is the magic that manifests the scenery in one's mind. Once this thing is activated, it will change the surrounding space into a completely different scenery. The realization of the mental imagery landscape, that is to say, the inherent enchantment is to replace the self and the world under the condition that the state remains unchanged. It's the closest thing to magic. How old is this guy? This kind of magic can be used. It's really amazing. Even the inherent enchantment has come out. Kangchi Chenzi also expressed his own emotion. 10 years later, there is still a junior who can use the inherent enchantment. The younger generation is awesome, the younger generation is awesome. Tohsaka Toki-chen said in admiration. And in the Hall of Valor. This is. Yi Skandar also saw at a glance that the magic Shiro used was the intrinsic enchantment. It's not incomprehensible for a human being with such an ability to defeat the king of heroes. But this inherent barrier seems to be related to the sword. See you Lane, it's probably difficult to defeat the King of Heroes with only one inherent enchantment. King Dumao, look carefully, I don't think it's possible. With an inherent enchantment, you can defeat that hero king. Chapter 11. There was a lot of discussion. The screen is still playing. Yes, instead of forging swords, what I create is a world containing countless swords. This is the only magic that Emi Yashiro is allowed to do. Emi Yashiro explained lightly. This moment, Gilgamesh obviously didn't realize the seriousness of the matter. Inherent enchantment. Is this your ability? And then? What can this broken mental image do? Saying so, he took a step forward. At the same time, countless swords also appeared behind him. Then, in the blink of an eye. No. Faster than the blink of an eye. The moment the golden halo appeared behind Gilgamesh, Emi Yashiro stared. The incomparably sharp eyes exuded bursts of murderous aura. Then instantly, countless swords galloped towards Gilgamesh. Clang clang. The treasures of the two collided with each other. There were bursts of explosions. Gilgamesh's noble phantasm was smashed to cancel it out. What? Gilgamesh was slightly taken aback. Obviously a little surprised. Unexpectedly, his attack was cancelled out. Emi Yashiro also saw Gilgamesh's surprise. There's nothing to be surprised about. These are all fakes, and they're nothing worth mentioning to you. Emi Yashiro's voice just fell. He stretched out his hands and pierced the blade on the ground. They were all pulled out. However, if you don't have fakes, you can't beat the real ones. If you are the real ones, then override everything and defeat them all. Talking. Emi Yashiro took a step forward slowly. Looking at Gilgamesh from the Hill of Swords. It's time to go, King of Heroes, do you have enough weapons? Shiro Emi Ya? Emi Ya. This moment. Einsborn in Fuyaki's magic castle. Irisveal stared at the screen with disbelief. Immediately, he looked at his husband, Emi Yakiritsugu. Who is Shiro Emi Ya? Naturally, Emi Yakiritsugu could only remain silent. The reason is simple. Because now he naturally doesn't know Shiro Emi Ya. Apart from himself, this Fuyaki actually has a magician named Emi Ya? No. Although there is no evidence, he has a hunch. This Shiro is indeed related to him. Mie, is this Shiro the child of Yu and Kiritsugu? Irisveal asked Hisamui. Emi Ya Kiritsugu. No, ma'am, this is definitely impossible. If I guess correctly, the timeline in this video should be 10 years later. It seems that this boy is not young anymore. According to his age, he should be born now, but think about it, have you never seen or heard of Shiro's name? And madam, only you are Kiritsugu's wife. And on the other side, Tohsaka Toki also froze. Ah, although the intrinsic barrier is very strong, the king should be able to win easily, right? Probably. Teacher. Kotomine Kaire seemed to want to say something. But after thinking about it, forget it. But he knew that his teacher understood. Although the confrontation was only a moment away. But as long as you are careful, you can definitely find it. Gilgamesh's speed of summoning the treasure in the enchantment is simply not comparable to that of Emi Yashiro directly controlling the flying sword with magic power from the ground. It looks like that King of Heroes is going to be deflated again. At this moment, Weber felt sorry for the King of Heroes. What a miserable man! How could someone be on the deflated leaderboard twice in a row? And in the Hall of Valor on the other side. Ah ha 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 ha, I laughed so hard, I didn't expect that the King of Heroes and Legendary would encounter such a situation. Yiskandar let out a heroic laugh. Damn it, it's nothing more than miscellaneous repairs, if you take out EA. Gilgamesh said so. But I also understand that I can't take out EA now. On the one hand, it is because my arrogance does not allow me to use EA to deal with a common human. On the other hand, it is because the girl named Emi Yashiro, his attack speed is completely too late to launch the deviation sword. Laughing, I didn't expect that the King of Heroes had an absolute advantage. It can almost be said that he had an absolute advantage, and he played himself badly. Cuculane sharply commented on the King of Heroes. While everyone was commenting, the battle on the screen was still going on. Chapter 12. Screen. The battle between Emi Yashiro and Gilgamesh continues. Immediately behind Gilgamesh, countless golden halos spread out. Among the gold ripples, he took out the weapon in the king's treasure. Countless swords and halberds galloped across the wilderness. Emi Yashiro also decided not to lose. What's more, it's not like I have no chance of winning. I saw him open his eyes. Use your own ideas to drive countless famous swords in the infinite sword system. The duplicated Durandal around him left the ground and rushed behind Gilgamesh. Immediately, Emi Yashiro's famous sword collided with Gilgamesh's noble phantasm. There was a tinkling sound. Gilgamesh watched this scene in astonishment. And Shiro Emiya doesn't care if you lose your mind. Seeing him take a step forward, he stretched out his hands. The famous swords on the ground around them scrambled towards Emi Yashiro's hands. At this moment, all the swords have basically agreed with Emi Yashiro. The body of the sword, the attributes of the sword are all brandished for Shiro. Emi Yashiro, who is destined to wield two swords all his life to save the world and stick to his dream, has made a decision. Be sure to compete with the hero king Gilgamesh here. Ha! Gilgamesh looked at Shiro Emiya coldly in front of him. Sneered. He thought it was ridiculous. Just a petty hypocrite. Even the weapons used in the hands are fakes. But now, he felt anger for a long time. He was actually aroused into anger. Don't be too proud, miscellaneous cultivator. Roaring so angrily. Meanwhile, he decided to be here. Judge the arrogant and ignorant pirate king who doesn't know how much he is. Interesting, it looks like this battle is a duel between the real thing and the fake, but who said the fake can't beat the real thing? Ayako Ayazaka said lightly. Obviously she is very optimistic about Emi Yashiro. This young man is very promising. And people spend their whole lives learning and imitating others. Everyone is a fake of the other. However, fakes are not invincible to the real ones, they improve on the basis of the predecessors, learn from them, constantly challenge themselves, and surpass the predecessors. So even if it is genuine, it is nothing to worry about. What, it looks like just a little boy, but he has a handsome feeling. The corners of Ayazaki Orange's mouth rose slightly. Said his own evaluation. This kind of constant challenge yourself, surpass yourself the day before. Even though the road ahead is bleak, he never gave up his childhood dream. And work hard for this dream. This is the star that mankind should show in history. I think that Gilgamesh might not be able to defeat this Emi Yashiro. There is only one reason for his failure, and that is that he didn't understand the persistence of a young man who persisted in pursuing his dream for so long. Human beings are great because of this. Although I am very curious about the relationship between Emi Yashiro and Kiritsugu. But Irisville still hoped that Emi Yashiro could win this battle. For my dream, I have been struggling. Emi Yakiritsugu murmured. He suddenly felt that the boy in the video looked very pleasing to the eye. Is it possible that it is really your child? And in the world of FGO, it's really good. The figure of that child working hard is as shining as the stars. This kind of light is a feeling that a high-ranking king cannot understand or understand. A smile appeared on Olga Marie's face. If she can meet this guy in the video, she should bring Chaldea, right? This kind of light, it's really nice. Romani Ackerman also murmured. This kind of light is exactly what he could not experience as King Solomon in his lifetime. Also incomprehensible feelings. It's very wonderful. Ha 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 ha. Very good, this boy. If there is a chance to meet him, I will definitely pull him into my army. The king of conquerors laughed. He was also extremely satisfied with Emi Yakiritsugu. Humph. This boy is quite interesting. Mordred also made such an evaluation. It's good to keep working hard for your dream. This moment, the silly king of the Hall of Valor looked at Shiro on the screen. If this boy summoned himself, he should answer his call, right? Because the two are very similar. That's right, that's it. Just let that proud Gilgamesh defeat you so neatly. I'll even run to him to show off. Ishtar said excitedly. At this moment, she was thinking that she would meet that golden sparkle when the time came. You must take this matter and laugh at him severely. At this moment, she didn't think of it at all. This encyclopedia has more than just golden stalks. A goddess who has lost her chain has a lot of stalks. Chapter 13. On the screen. The battle between Gilgamesh and Emi Yashiro continues. Damn it, don't give me. Gilgamesh angrily intensified the king's treasure unfolding. Too arrogant, brat. However, the sword behind Gilgamesh has only just materialized. Emi Yashiro is faster than Gilgamesh. He quickly picked up the simple bronze sword at his feet. Then hold the sword in both hands and chop forward. A crisscrossing cross-slash. Emi Yashiro ran towards Gilgamesh, while pulling out all kinds of famous swords along the way. Chop, smash, smash. Emi Yashiro swung his sword faster and faster. I can't count how many treasures have been cut down. Countless pieces fell to the ground. However, it was quickly reforged into a brand new sword in the world of swords. Really? Gilgamesh's king's treasure contains countless noble phantasms. But innumerable is limited. Emi Yashiro is completely different. Because his noble phantasm's inherent enchantment is the world of the infinite sword. Infinity, that is, a world without limits. This is one of the reasons for Gilgamesh's failure. Gilgamesh angrily took the famous sword embodied in the king's treasure and slashed at Emi Yashiro. Gilgamesh is actually not very good at melee combat and swordsmanship. He was an archer after all. But as we all know, an archer who doesn't want to fight melee is not a good archer. The reason why Gilgamesh was able to suppress his opponent in close combat before was also relying on the cooperation of the noble phantasm armor and various weapons. But now that advantage is gone. Therefore, he was suppressed by Emi Yashiro's double sword style. Can only keep back. Why? Why? Miscellaneous cultivator's sword will. Gilgamesh could not accept this fact. Ha! Ha! Emi Yashiro roared angrily. Only the enemies that must be eliminated are in sight. With a will of iron, he will never back down. At this moment, he has only one action. That is to swing the sword, and then swing the sword. No need to think about other things. Can't let my body stop. The only way to wait for Emi Yashiro is to move forward. All he can do at this moment is keep moving forward. And the moment he saw the Gilgamesh noble phantasm appear, Emi Yashiro immediately pulled out the weapon with the same handle, and smashed the swords flying from all directions. Everything is to quickly approach Gilgamesh. Emi Yashiro used all his advantages. Impossible. How can this be reasonable? This king will be suppressed. This king will be suppressed by that kind of fake. Gilgamesh struggled to raise his sword and slashed at Emi Yashiro. Then distanced itself. The distance between men is very close now. About 20 steps. And Emi Yashiro would never give Gilgamesh any chance to breathe. Because that would make Gilgamesh take out other noble phantasms. So he kept moving forward and approached Gilgamesh at a fast gallop. It must be done quickly. Emi Yashiro had only this thought in his mind. The magic power provided by Tohsaka Rin is indeed not small. But if it is necessary to maintain a barrier and provide saber with it, such magic power is not enough. If you procrastinate, the only way to wait for you is failure. Shiro Emiya knows this very well. Watching the boy on the screen suppressing the famous king of heroes, Ayako Ayazaki was not surprised at all. But it must be resolved quickly, if you wait until the magic power is exhausted. As a magician, she can see what's going on in Shiro Emiya's body. As a magician, Emiya Shiro is actually not top-notch. There are only 27 magic circuits in him. Such conditions led to his low ability to offer demons. With such magic power, it is also difficult to fight a sustained protracted war. The talent of that young man is indeed quite strong. Although he is a bit biased and almost all focused on projection magic, being able to rely on projection magic to achieve an inherent enchantment still shows Emiya Shiro's comprehension ability and talent. Ayazaki Chinzi also made her own evaluation. What's going on? Is that really something humans can do? With the power of a human being, can a heroic spirit be suppressed to that extent? No, and that heroic spirit can be said to be a top-level heroic spirit. Is it this level? Weber looked at Emiya Shiro on the screen in shock. This boy? Where did the monster come from? That boy, what's going on? He was able to suppress that famous king of heroes. Kotomine Kaire was also extremely curious. And the Hall of Valor on the other side? How is it possible? It's nothing more than a miscellaneous cultivator. How could it be possible to suppress this king? This video is definitely suspected of being fake. Gilgamesh looked at himself suppressed on the screen. Said angrily. However, no matter how he denies it, this is indeed the truth. Chapter 14. Go back to the screen. In the picture. If you are fighting with other servants, even if you create such a world, you can't beat them. Even if you have infinite treasures, you can't compete with an opponent who has brought out a single noble phantasm to the extreme. But if the opponent is you, if the first to prepare the sword, I will be able to take the first step. Emiya Shiro said so. Then a sword smashed the real thing in Gilgamesh's hand. That's right. Gilgamesh indeed possessed countless noble phantasms, and he was able to use all kinds of noble phantasms with complete freedom. Such Gilgamesh is the apex existence even among heroic spirits. But he is always just an owner. It is not a heroic spirit who can use all the noble phantasms to the extreme. This is another reason for Gilgamesh's failure. After the weapon in his hand was chopped into pieces, Gilgamesh quickly distanced himself from Emiya Shiro. Then he aimed the projection of his king's treasure at Emiya Shiro. Stared at him angrily. Damn! 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 Him at this very moment. He has fully understood the gap between himself and Emiya Shiro. If you want to fight him in the inherent enchantment of this pirated game, then no matter how you fight, you can't beat Shiro Emiya. Then it is necessary to insist on the dignity of playing, and taste the pain of being killed by miscellaneous cultivators. Or should I put down my face and save my life? Let Shiro Emiya, a miscellaneous repairman in front of you, feel the difference between genuine and counterfeit. Yes, Gilgamesh is not unable to solve this inherent barrier. But if you use that noble phantasm against a human being. Gilgamesh frowned. I actually want this king to be serious about dealing with something like you. Gilgamesh was furious. He had never been so angry before, and the king's treasure behind him was also unfolding with all his strength. Attack from all directions of Shiro Emiya. At this moment, he is projecting his treasure with all his strength, and he no longer retains his magic power. Boom! Boom! Thousands of treasures are continuously projected. After disappearing, it will re-enter the king's treasure and continue to project. Certainly. If the weapons in the king's treasure are shattered, they cannot be retrieved and re-projected. However, these did not affect Gilgamesh's efforts to unfold his king's treasure. The king's treasure with its full firepower is indeed terrifying, and its power is astonishing. But Emiya Shiro was not stage frightened at all. Emi Yashiro's roar echoed in the enchantment. The flames around the body area never stopped. At the same time, the speed at which he swings the sword has also become faster. Even though I am in pain all over my body now, the magic circuit is boiling and burning. It made me feel the pain of incomparable pain. But Emi Yashiro still did not stop his footsteps. Boom! Accompanied by a loud bang. Emi Yashiro did not choose to confront him head-on. Instead, he chose to rise from his own ground. 7 layers of blazing rings. In mid-air, Emi Yashiro held up his ring and sprinted down rapidly. Endless treasures pierced around his body and flew backwards. Emi Yashiro held Moi, the general, in his hand. Go straight to Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, have you ever seen a sword technique drop from the sky? This moment, Gilgamesh has no way out. Then, there is only one way left. With a movement of his arm, a golden hilt appeared, which was EA's hilt. Don't even think about. Seeing this scene, Emi Yashiro naturally understood Gilgamesh's thoughts. But how can he let Gilgamesh get his wish? I saw him fall from the sky. A silver arc flashed. A sword slashed forward, and the arm holding the deviant sword was cut off directly. Immediately, the blood blurred, and blood sprayed out. The pupils of Gilgamesh sashimi are full of inconceivable. Emi Yashiro did not choose to stop his steps. Emos yet, the general in his hand, slashed towards Gilgamesh again. However, Gilgamesh also jumped backwards violently. At the critical moment, he successfully avoided the fatal blow. I have to admit, you are the stronger now. With Gilgamesh's unwilling voice, the picture came to an abrupt end. There is no need to continue playing. Because everyone understands that the battle has already been decided. Ha 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 ha, it's interesting, it's so interesting. This king admits that this young man named Emi Yashiro has aroused his interest. This king decided that if he is lucky enough to be real, I must conquer him. The king of conquerors laughed. Obviously very satisfied with Shiro Emi. Broken arm. Although I think that boy should be able to defeat the hero king, but I didn't expect to be able to break his elbow. Hiss. Aokai Chinzi couldn't help but sucked in a breath of cold air. The achievement of chopping off the elbow of a heroic spirit. Even as a magician, I couldn't do it. Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen, after delivering supper to hungry girls, he has to work overtime to deliver elbows to others. He really, I cried to death. The corners of Siu Kulane's mouth rose slightly. It's so miserable, Mr. Yujin, to have his elbow cut off. Weber also observed a second of silence for Gilgamesh. And at Tohsaka's house on the other side. This. Looking at the miserable appearance of Gilgamesh on the screen. Although Kotomine Kaire was unwilling to admit it. But there was indeed a bit of joy in my heart. Pleasure, what a delight! Chapter 15. And in the Hall of Valor. Ha 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 ha, I laughed so hard, I didn't expect that the aloof Gilgamesh would have such a scene. Not to mention that he couldn't beat humans, and he was cut off by an elbow, and his mouth was still stubborn. I have to admit, now you are stronger. Ha 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 ha, who is the producer of this video? He is so talented. If I meet him, I must reward him well. Ishtar said with a smile. She really didn't expect that she could see it on the screen. Gilgamesh looks deflated. Just show her the fun. Hiss, actually broke the elbow of the king of heroes. Ereshkigal complained. She is different from Ishtar. Not so much related to Gilgamesh. It was also at this moment, which shocked Emi Yashiro's strength. You know, even if it is yourself. If he didn't fight Gilgamesh in the underworld, he wouldn't be able to defeat Gilgamesh 100%. Although Gilgamesh did not use his EA. But the reason why it couldn't be used was because Emi Yashiro interrupted immediately. This human. It's really not that simple. Humph, can you actually defeat Jill? Really? Xingyue looked at the screen and murmured. That Shiro Emiya. Now that I can defeat my best friend. Is this the future of humans? Who is the producer of this video? He has completely angered me. Gilgamesh looked at himself on the screen. The smile on his face has long since disappeared. If anyone is here, they can definitely feel that the temperature in the air has dropped to the extreme. Obviously, Gilgamesh was completely angry. No matter how. This short video has shocked all viewers. Almost everyone was dumbfounded. Unexpectedly, that Emiya Shiro really defeated a heroic spirit with his human body, and the strength of that heroic spirit was not weak. At this moment, after the video finished playing, it quickly began to explain the plot. I have to admit, you are the stronger one now. The line comes from the battle between the hero king Gilgamesh and Emiya Shiro. Gilgamesh was pulled into the inherent barrier by Emiya Shiro, the infinite sword system, easily suppressing him, and making his EA return. His right arm was cut off before he could pull it out. Gilgamesh admits his defeat, saying, I have to admit, you are the stronger now. It is generally used for various beheading failures, pushing pictures, and overturning cars. Slowly fade away with the explanation. Several barrages also appeared on the video. Ha 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 ha, I laughed so hard, I have to admit, now you are the stronger. JPG, Conqueror King Yi Skandar. Hey, King of Heroes, don't be angry. Everyone can see that you can actually win this battle. It's just that you were careless at the beginning. If you show your whole card at the beginning, maybe your elbow will it can still be saved. Karna. Indeed, whether it is Mr. Jin, an enthusiastic citizen, or the current meme, it can be seen that the King of Heroes has strength, and it can even be said to be the top group. It is a pity that his personality is too floating, which is also true. That led to so many famous scenes. Ozymandias analyzed. A defeat is a defeat. No matter what excuses you use to cover it up, it's the same. Even if you are stronger than others, the lion fights the rabbit with all your strength. See you Culane. That is, no matter how hard you try to hide it, failure is failure. Dire Muid. Obviously. Some people criticize Gilgamesh, while others agree. But this is also very normal. After all, there are 10,000 readers and there are 10,000 Hamlets. Like Emiya Shiro's ideal partner of justice, some people laugh at others and others support them. Is it important? It doesn't matter, the most important thing is whether you can persevere. All in all, while everyone is discussing, the sound of the system also rang in Ling Yu's ears. Ding dong! Congratulations to the host for completing the production of the video, and getting comments from the audience, getting rewards, 10 magic circuits, and because of the wide acclaim of many people, getting rewards, the concept dress Liudong Temple. Hear the system sound. Ling Yu was slightly taken aback. The reward magic circuit is fairly normal. But will there still be a concept gift? This thing is incredible. It is one of the most commonly used 3-star concept dresses. In the game, it has the effect of increasing Bayao EI by 15% and charging by 30%. But if it is in reality, you should be able to increase your magic power output and get a certain amount of magic power reserve. It's still practical. Then the next video. Ling Yu plans to come up with a not-so-dark meme next. Let's be nice. It's up to you. Stupid King. Chapter 16. Quickly. Ling Yu made the food in her hands and released it. Pause time. Another line of small words appeared on the screen in front of everyone. Meme Encyclopedia, the King of Rice Buckets is officially broadcast. When everyone saw this word, they immediately regained their spirits. Because it means a brand new meme is about to be born. But when he saw this idiot and foolish king, everyone was puzzled again. Big Eater. Doesn't sound like a good idea. And the dumb king? Another king, the name of a king I have never heard of? In the FGO world. Olga Marie looked at the words on the screen. Curiously read the title out. Then he asked Romani Ackerman on the side. Dr. Roman, who do you think will appear on the encyclopedia this time? Heard the words. Romani Ackerman also analyzed it seriously. It shouldn't be Gilgamesh anyway. After all, it has been played twice in a row. No matter how boring the author is, he will not wait for a sheep to pluck its wool 3 times. But this stupid king. I really can't think of it for a while. Historically or mythologically. Is there any king whose name is Du Mao King? Da Vinci, who was on the side, also made his own voice at this moment. Just now I looked it up carefully. I found that there is no king called Dum Bao Wang. I can't guess who is going to take stock next. And on the other side? Stupid king? It sounds like a cute name. Alice Feel always felt that this name sounded familiar. It seems that the guy to be counted next should be a very cute person. Who is the name of the king I have never heard of before? Emi Yakiritsugu also began to think about this so-called foolish king. There is no doubt that everyone became curious about the foolish king. They all started discussing. However, soon the screen explained their doubts. Food Bucket Harry King. With subtitles disappear. A woman with golden hair and green pupils appeared in front of everyone. Looks very serious face. The girl's face looks very beautiful without any makeup. But the most noticeable thing is the dull hair on the top of her head. It seems that this should be the stupid king. Everyone thought. At the same time, the introduction is slowly appearing. Stupid King Artoria Pendragon. His true identity is the king in the legendary of ancient Britain, also known as King Arthur. Known as the Knight of Knights, the King of Knights. Drawing the sword of the chosen king from the rock, he disguises his gender and lives as Arthur, the ideal king. Watch this introduction. All of a sudden everyone was fried. What? This stupid king turned out to be the famous King Arthur in legendary? King Arthur turned out to be a girl? For a while, everyone wondered if there was something wrong with their eyes. The very good-looking girl on the screen turned out to be King Arthur. The famous King Arthur turned out to be a girl. What a strange dream I'm having. JPG. Almost instantly, everyone had this thought. I didn't expect. King Arthur turned out to be a girl. Tohsaka Toki-chen said with emotion. It's really hard to believe, the king in legendary turned out to be a girl or something. Are you sure it's not something that only happens in novels? Kotomine Kaire also complained about his inner thoughts. Hiss. Emi Yakiritsugu gasped. Because I prepared the relics of King Arthur. The one who was ready to summon was naturally the famous King Arthur. But now it seems. Maybe I really need to think about summoning such a king. Sure enough, he is a very cute person. Alice Veal said with a smile. And in the Hall of Valor on the other side. Arturia looked at herself on the screen, obviously a little surprised. What's going on? I didn't realize that I had passed away. But the one on the screen is indeed me. And this introduction. Doesn't this expose your gender all at once? And what is that dumb hairy king? Hello? Is this how future generations evaluate themselves? The dumb hair on Artoria's head moved. The displeasure on his face was vivid on the paper. Ah, it's the king. Inside the Hall of Valor, Gao Wen said happily. Yay! Sir! The crazy Lancelot looked at the silly hair king on the screen and roared. It's the father! I didn't expect the inventory video of this meme to be the father. Mordred's surprised voice also sounded. My king! Lancelot at the sword level looked at the Dumbo on the screen. His eyes seemed to be thinking of something. Chapter 17. This moment. The Knights of the Round Table in the Hall of Valor are a bit restless. They didn't want to say anything at first. But when they saw the familiar figure on the screen, they all became emotional. That's right. That is your own king. Well known. There are only two creatures in the Knights of the Round Table, the normal King Chef and the twisted King Chef. Even Tristan, who said the king doesn't understand people's hearts, is not surprised. Seeing a familiar figure at this moment, naturally they started discussing one after another. Quickly disappears with the introduction. The screen also started to play. What? It's your boy. Xingyue was wearing an apron. Turned around. Emi Yashiro was also a little surprised at this moment. I didn't expect to meet familiar people when I went out to buy vegetables. The blue-haired guy in the apron. Undoubtedly, it is Kelk's great hero, Xingyue. It looks like he is working part-time? You. Are you working part-time? Emi Yashiro sighed helplessly. Asked about my doubts. Yes, as you can see. Is your kid going to cook? Xingyue asked with his arms crossed. Judging by Emi Yashiro's appearance, he should also be out shopping. Yes, what's the matter? Emi Yashiro seemed a little puzzled. Nothing. Xingyue seemed indifferent to respond. At this moment, an old lady who also came to buy vegetables made her voice. Brother over there, what is better today? Hear voices. Immediately. Xingyue blinked golden light. Whoosh. At a speed that Emi Yashiro didn't even realize. I came to my mother-in-law. Today recommend red gold eye. Miss. Saying so. Xingyue side also gave up the weird light. In a trance, people seem to be able to see strips of red gold eyes shaking. See this scene. The audience was a little less calm. That is. There is no doubt that everyone recognized the red-haired boy. It was the other protagonist of the last video, Emi Yashiro. At this moment, he is not like Emi Yashiro in the previous video, his whole body is full of chilling atmosphere. But very stable and harmonious. Shiro Emi Ya. It seems that this should be 10 years later. Emi Yakiritsugu said lightly. But it seems something is not the same. You must know that from the previous two videos, it is absolutely impossible for Fuyuki to be so peaceful 10 years later. There may be a state of nuclear peace at any time. But from the video in front of me, I can't see that tense atmosphere at all. The tension of facing the Holy Grail War could not be seen on Emi Yashiro's face. What I have is the calm that comes from peaceful days. What is this? That blue-haired man seems to be not calm anymore. This should also be a heroic spirit, but he is working part-time. The heroic spirit is actually working part-time. Ayako Ayazaki also said in surprise. This world. It should be a parallel world, right? However, the heroic spirits in the parallel world would actually go to work, which was beyond my expectation. Ha 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 ha, what's the matter with that blue-haired man? He actually called that 70-year-old mother-in-law Miss ha 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 ha, and there is still a strange atmosphere all over his body. Weber also complained. This man should also be a heroic spirit. If you didn't expect to be able to open your eyes and talk nonsense, you can do this. And at this moment, in the Hall of Valor, Xingyue was not so calm. Because isn't the person on the screen at this moment himself? Is it possible that this meme video has its own dark history? Isn't this me? And it looks like I'm still working. Xingyue looked at himself on the screen with some doubts. Know that you are very familiar with yourself. Since he can appear on the screen, it means that he was definitely summoned as a heroic spirit. But he was working part-time. And so peaceful and harmonious. What is this world? In addition to being curious about what is going on in the world on the screen, Xingyue has another layer of worry. That is, my black history is not too small. If it involves yourself, it will be really embarrassing. And Scat Hatch on the other side. Originally, she didn't have the slightest interest in this screen. For her, it can arouse her interest. Only beings that can kill themselves exist. But now, she has changed her mind. The guy on the screen is his apprentice Xingyue. Looking at it like this, it seems very slack. It seems that I need to practice a lot. Skatha said so. There was also a dangerous gleam in his eyes. But Xingyue only felt a chill behind his back. It seemed as if he was being targeted by some terrifying existence. Chapter 18. It's disgusting, you still call me miss. Obviously. The old lady was also amused by Xingyue's words. Do you know what is called the gold content of Celtic bulldozers.jpg? Okay, just give me that. The old lady also decisively bought the product. Immediately afterwards, Xingyue took out the fish requested by the old woman very quickly. Thank you for your patronage. And saw this scene. Emi Yashiro on the side also couldn't help complaining. Great Celtic hero who sells fish. However, seeing this scene, he also knew what to do tonight. Sure enough, we should eat fish for dinner. Saying so, Emi Yashiro began to look at the fish in the shop. If it is fish, it is still more cost-effective, right? Lancer. Give me a better deal. Emi Yashiro said to Xingyue. Ah? Let me see. Check out the items in your store. Xingyue was thoughtful. Fish words. Sure enough, I still have to ask for salmon. Cheap and delicious, very cost-effective. How about the salmon? Very cheap and delicious. Xingyue said with a smile. Salmon. Seems to be doing pretty well. Emi Yashiro thought carefully. Salmon is really good too. Steamed is also delicious. But the most delicious, or to use the grill. Emi Yashiro thought so. It's decided, I'll have grilled fish in tinfoil for dinner. Listen to Emi Yashiro's voice. Ku Kaiyulan made a voice of doubt and curiosity. What? Is that delicious? Simple to make, but relatively tasty. Give me 3. While explaining, Emi Yashiro made a 3 with gestures. Yet. Xingyue on one side showed a thoughtful expression. He took 4 pieces of salmon from the cabinet and put them in the bag. Hey, there's an extra piece. Emi Yashiro was a little puzzled. There was obviously an extra piece in the bag. At this time, Xingyue put his hands on his waist. Boy, I want to eat too. Because he remembered that he had heard that Emi Yashiro's cooking seemed delicious. Hearing Xingyue's words, Emi Yashiro let out a soft ah. It seems that there are some doubts. Don't worry, I will pay for my share. Xingyue continued to add. No, that's not the case. The voice just fell. There was a snap. Ling Yu patted Emi Yashiro on the shoulder. Peta from jinliB.jpg. The powerful force made Emi Yashiro take 2 steps back involuntarily. Then came Xingyue's voice. Then, I'll go to your house later, so get ready. Look at this scene on the screen. Tohsaka Toki-chen couldn't help but fell into deep thought. This is the Holy Grail War, right? This is definitely the Holy Grail War. Just now I heard the words Celtic hero and Lancer. This means that this is definitely the Holy Grail War. But this seems to be completely different from the Holy Grail War in my impression. How could it be so harmonious? Hey! What kind of Holy Grail War is this? Hey! Shouldn't you be fighting me with swords? What are the heroic spirits doing? Can even the heroic spirits be interested in eating? It seems a bit. Kotomine Kaire looked at Emi Yashiro on the screen. There is also a bit of curiosity in my heart. This Holy Grail War is completely different from what I imagined. It turns out that the heroic spirits will also go to work and earn money. I really learned a lot. Weber had to admit. This video really allowed me to see another side of Yingling, an ordinary person. It turns out that heroic spirit will also go to eat, and also go to work. Are the great Celtic heroes? There are only a few of the Celtics who are famous, excluding some women and lancers. It can be speculated that Finn, Xingyue and Dilmde. Which one will it be? As expected of Emi Yakiritsugu. At this time, I still guessed the identity of the heroic spirit in the video. And in the Hall of Valor. Ha 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 ha, that young man not only has the strength to defeat the King of Heroes, but also possesses the cooking skills enough to overwhelm the heroic spirits. This king really likes him more and more. The King of Conquerors laughed. For Emi Yashiro, he is really more and more satisfied. Such a man is almost perfect. Salmon is really good. Finn, who had a close relationship with salmon, smiled. Salmon, cheap and nutritious. It can also make people smart. Really good. This Celtic hero does have vision. Hey, suddenly I really want to try Emi Yashiro's cooking skills. Even the heroic spirits can be overwhelmed by it, and even make the hero put down his dignity and go to eat. How delicious is such a meal? Ah! Karna is also a little curious. No, not so much that he was curious. Rather, all the viewers who just watched this video are curious about Shiro's cooking skills. Chapter 19. This moment, the screen changed. Came to Wei Gong's house. At this moment, King Dumao was folding his clothes. Suddenly, she frowned slightly. This is... It seems to feel the breath of magic. Hey, this is the King Arthur in Legendary. I didn't expect it to be a girl. And she can fold clothes. It's really surprising. Tohsaka Tokiomi looked at the dumb hairy king on the screen with great interest. But look at this. You should have noticed it. Lancer's breath. In the Holy Grail War, when one servant meets another servant, it is no longer necessary to think about what will happen. It seems that this harmonious atmosphere should soon disappear. Tohsaka Tokiomi thought so. And on the other side. This is... Emi Yakiritsugu frowned as he looked at the dumb king on the screen. Can such a servant really help him win the Holy Grail War? As expected, he is a very cute servant. Contrary to Emi Yakiritsugu, Iris Veal really likes the king of dumb hair. You're actually folding clothes. Didn't expect the famous King Arthur to help others fold clothes. Weber was a little shocked. Is the woman on the screen really the famous King Arthur? Why do you look like a good wife and mother? There is no scope for the kind of master of a country at all. And in the world of Go, I really didn't expect that the famous King Arthur is really a girl, and she is such a cute girl. Olga Marie said curiously. However, this is after all in the Holy Grail War. If you meet another heroic spirit, you can't live in harmony, right? Just let me see the strength of King Arthur in Legendary. Dr. Roman didn't say anything. Because he felt that it should be unlikely to fight. After all, the purpose of that blue-haired heroic spirit coming here was just to have a meal. It's not like two heroic spirits will fight each other for a meal, right? In the Hall of Valor, all the knights of the Round Table are not calm anymore. Because the person on the screen is undoubtedly their king. It's really a king, but why is it like this? Gao Wen murmured. This is... Lancelot looked at the dumb-haired king on the screen. It also showed a shocked expression. Because of this posture that the king showed. It was a posture they had never seen again after the king pulled out the sword in the stone during his lifetime. After pulling out the sword in the stone, the smile on the face of dumb Mao Wang had already disappeared. It became a machine to rule the country. He wholeheartedly thinks about the people, but ignores himself. But now, to be able to see this side of the king, Lancelot also showed a smile. I really didn't expect that the dignified and gorgeous father would have this side. Mordred was also a little surprised. Such a gesture. It was the first time she saw it. Before that, her father had always been majestic in her impression. Until the Battle of Camran. King. See this side of Wang. Kui Sad, who had kept his eyes closed, suddenly opened them. This is. The eyes are full of incredible. In any case, such a dumb king has aroused everyone's discussion. However, this does not affect the continued playback of the video. This moment, King Dumao came to the kitchen. Emi Yashiro is not the one who discovered the magical power. Then, from here, King Daimao opened the door and window while talking. King Dumao looked at Xingyue in surprise. What happened? Why is this guy here? King Dumao showed a guarded look. Oh, I didn't expect Saber to go out to greet you. Xingyue greeted. Pause time. I came to see it because I felt the magic power. What are you here for? King Dumao showed a guarded expression and quickly took a few steps back. Then he waved his hand. Very cute. One thing to say, the quilt in this section is really cute, I have read it at least dozens of times. At this moment, all the audience were not calm anymore. Especially the Knights of the Round Table in the Hall of Valor. Oslo, I didn't expect. Such a video would allow me to see such a cute and other side of the king. It really is because he has relieved the responsibility of the king. Mordred had a nosebleed. It was indeed the first time she had seen such a lovely father. Good, great. There was a golden light in Gao Wen's eyes. He didn't expect such a video to give him unexpected surprises. And Jill was no surprise. Then he recognized the foolish king on the screen as Joan of Arc. Ah, Jean, my dear Jean, my saint, just wait, I will set you free. Jill said like crazy. Chapter 20. Back to the screen. Xingyue was slightly taken aback looking at the actions of King Dumao. Didn't you hear what the kid said? I'm here for dinner. Saying so, Kyukyulin walked slowly into the house with his hands in his pockets. It seems to be the same as detecting some keywords. Immediately, Dum Mao Wang's complexion changed. Eat, eat. Even through the screen. Everyone can also feel the emotions of King Dumao. Not good, another .jpg who robbed me of food came. Pause time. Looking at the dull hairy king on the screen. All the audience were slightly taken aback. This guy, couldn't he still be a foodie? The corners of Ayako Ayazaka's mouth rose slightly. I didn't expect that. King Arthur in Legendary is not just a girl. And he's still a foodie. Really? This screen is very interesting. Although the heroic spirits in Legendary will replenish their magic power by eating, there is no doubt that the dumb hairy king in the video is not just eating to replenish their magic power, in the words of the common people to describe it, it is a foodie. Kang Chi Cheng Zi looked at the king of dumb hair on the screen. This look. It's obviously like protecting food. This is a proper foodie. In this instant, she seems to understand what the stupid hairy king meant. And Emi Yakuritsugu on the other side. Ari, how about we change the holy relic? Emi Yakuritsugu felt a little regretful at this moment. Summoning this King Arthur like this is indeed a bit hasty. But Kiritsugu, now that the Holy Grail War is about to start, it is impossible to prepare a new holy relic in such a short period of time. Alice Veal shook her head. Emi Yakuritsugu could only sigh helplessly. And Tohsaka Tokiomi on the other side also said helplessly. What the hell is this Holy Grail War? It's really so harmonious. It seems. This Holy Grail War should be completely different from the Holy Grail War I imagined. Hey, foodies. I don't know if this King Arthur likes to eat mapo tofu. Kotomine Kaire said curiously. That's right. Kotomine Kaire has an extraordinary love for Hyuxia cuisine mapo tofu. In order to eat mapo tofu, he even became a regular customer of the Hyuxia restaurant Hongzhou Yansukan Taishan in Fuyaki City. It can be said that it is also a snack. As for why I like spicy food. Probably because Kotomine Kyurei is a very empty person. He was born with a personality flaw, unable to feel beautiful about what people say is beautiful, and haunts what many people say is ugly. So it lacks the sense of being alive. Not even his wife Claudia Artoria can make him feel alive. But the spiciness of mapo tofu can make him feel that he is really alive after a long absence. This must be smearing. The image of my king is not an idiot. Who is the author of this video? Gao Wen said angrily. And on the other side. Although I really don't want to admit it, but my king, it seems that. Gala had recalled it carefully. I found that Wang really liked to eat before he was alive. It seems that he is indeed a foodie. Give. Xingyue handed a bag full of things to Emi Yashiro. Emi Yashiro almost missed the heavy weight. Oh. Thank you very much. It was very difficult to catch the bag. This is. Look at the contents of the bag. Hey, isn't this wine? Emi Yashiro was a little puzzled. What's the matter, don't you drink? I'm not yet of age. Emi Yashiro was a little helpless. That's not what you said when you replenished your mana.jpg. All in all, Emi Yashiro still took the wine. Then I'll be free before dinner. Kyukyulin was talking. On the one hand, it seems that this place is his own home. Very skillfully picked up the remote control on the table. Turned on the TV. Only Emi Yashiro was left helplessly looking at the wine in the bag. This can only be handed over to Sister Fuji. While talking, he walked into the kitchen and began to process the ingredients. Watch the salmon on the table. Emi Yashiro was lost in thought. Having said that, salmon. So, Irish salmon seems to be very famous. Emi Yashiro said belatedly. If I remember correctly, there seems to be a guy in Celtic mythology related to salmon. There seems to be that in the Celtic mythology Finn McCool's salmon of wisdom or something. Emi Yashiro thought so. But it was still very fast, and he focused on processing the ingredients in front of him. Shook his head. Emi Yashiro began to process his own ingredients. Chapter 21. While watching Shiro Emiya handle the ingredients, the audience also fell into discussion. What's the matter with that heroic spirit? Why can he even use the TV? Weber said with some doubts. Finn is also a very famous Celtic hero. Tohsaka Tokiomi is a participant in the Holy Grail War. I still know a lot about all the famous heroes in the world. Finn McCool is one of the most famous Irish legendary heroes in Celtic mythology, and he is also an outstanding leader of the famous Fianna Knights, the Athenian warriors. In legendary, Finn was extremely clever because he ate the meat of wisdom salmon feeden when he was a teenager. He can know anything he wants to know just by sucking his thumb. Listening to Tohsaka Tokiomi's introduction, Kotomine Kyurei also made his own voice. But he is most famous for another anecdote. That's right, that's Finn's love triangle with Dire Muid and Princess Granny. In legendary, the story of Dire Muid fell in love with the princess and eloped with her, causing Finn to fail to save Dire Muid at the final critical moment. This should also be regarded as one of Finn's black history. But the Lancer on the screen should not be the Finn. It shouldn't be that Dire Muid. Then there is only one left. The representative hero of Ireland, the half-human and half-god hero in Celtic mythology, Child of Light Xingyue. Tohsaka Tokiomi quickly guessed the identity of the servant in the video. Humph, so what if you have the best cooking skills? Only eternal life. Matazukan sneered. All he seeks is survival. In order to prolong your own life, you can use and sacrifice others to the end. In fact, Matazukan was also a partner of justice from the beginning. His original purpose of seeking eternal life was only to realize his youthful dream, abolish all evil. However, a long time has eroded his soul, turning his soul into a collection of obsessions. Here I have to mention the invincible Bedivere. The old bug finally lost his original heart in 500 years. He has degenerated from the original righteous partner to an old bug who sacrificed others at all costs in order to prolong his own life. In order to return the sword to the king, Bedivere survived alone in the world for 1,500 years in the human body. I can only say Beckham, YYDS. And the Hall of Valor on the other side. Ha 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 ha, wine? It seems to be pretty good. Conqueror Yiskandar was very interested in the wine Xingyue brought. Well, it's decided. If you have the chance to live in this world, you must have a good drink. While everyone was discussing, the dumb Mao King on the screen cast his eyes on Xingyue. Lancer. The dumb hairy king made his own voice. Xingyue seemed a little puzzled. You may think I'm long-winded. What happened to you suddenly today? Dumb Mao Wang asked puzzledly. After all, in the past, no one came to Wei Gong's house for dinner. And Xingyue doesn't seem like a person who will come to eat. I said it just now, come and eat. As he spoke, he walked towards the table. Huh? So it was really for dinner. Here comes another .jpg who grabs my meal. King Dumao showed a protective expression. Seeing this scene, Xingyue could only say helplessly. Don't make such a scary face. Miss Ryder from the Mata family, when I came to the store, she said that the food cooked by the boy is delicious. I just remembered. Xingyue went on to explain. Hear Emi Yashiro's cooking skills. Dumb Mao Wang also showed an expression of approval. It's true, Shiro's dishes are really delicious. After all, it is a culinary skill that can tie the king's stomach. Well, if this is the case, there is no way. If that's the case, there's nothing I can do. Let's have dinner with you tonight. Hear this. Xingyue was slightly taken aback. Said with some doubts. Do you still need the approval of Lord Night King to eat the food made by this kid? No. Emi Yashiro responded while handling the ingredients. While the two were talking, Fujimura Taiga also returned to Emi Ya's house. Hey? Isn't it Lancer? Why? I'm here to eat. Xingyue and Fujimura Taiga greeted each other. Tiger friends and dog friends. Jpg. It is worth mentioning that Daehee's luck is X level. Do you understand what is called the gold content of the top 3 in the moon world? Jpg. While the two were communicating, Emi Yashiro also prepared his own meals. Chapter 22. Please use it. Emi Yashiro put the meals he had prepared on the table while talking. Looking at the very good-looking food on the table, Xingyue was also slightly taken aback. Oh, that's right. Sure enough, this kid is quite good at cooking. It looks very delicious. Can't wait to pick up his chopsticks. Then I'll start right away. Oh. It's delicious. The taste is well adjusted. Xingyue said in surprise. At this time, a stack of bowls was placed in front of him. It was handed over by Emi Yashiro. Well, what's the matter? Emi Yashiro also started his own explanation. This is wasabi mayonnaise. What the hell is wasabi? Hello. I tried to make it today, and I think I can enjoy a different taste. Xingyue let out a sigh. Really? Can it really taste better with this thing? With such doubts in mind, Xingyue dipped the wasabi mayonnaise that Emi Yashiro handed over to his food. Lightly took a sip. Suddenly, Xingyue let out his own exclamation. Oh, this is really delicious, hey! Shiro! Give me some too! Daehee on the other side saw this scene and was also very curious about how delicious it was. And Xingyue is the king of dull hair who put his eyes aside. Evidently, I was still putting on airs just now. Xingyue said as if he saw the appearance of dumb Mao King. This moment, King Dumao has completely focused on the food. On the other side, Emi Yashiro and Taiga were also concentrating on solving the food on their plates. This is really... Xingyue chuckled. He really never thought about such a harmonious Holy Grail war. But... it's such a nice atmosphere. Think so? Xingyue also just started to solve the method in front of him. The picture came to an abrupt end here. Only the expressions of the audience are left behind. I didn't expect it. There really is such a harmonious Holy Grail war. I couldn't imagine two heroic spirits eating together peacefully before today. Matazukan sneered. And in the Hall of Valor. The food looks really good. It's no wonder that the great Celtic hero put down his warrior's glory and came over for a meal. It's not difficult to understand the appearance of the foolish king protecting the food. Said Yiskandar the Conqueror. It looks really good. This meal, I feel that if I have the opportunity, I can ask him for advice. After all, if I want to be a good wife, I don't know how to cook. Yuzeo looked at the food on the screen, and there was a gleam in his eyes. Does the king still protect food? It's really... Gao Wen said very unexpectedly. Such a king. Looks really happy. And on the other side, Ling Yu has just finished making the video in his hand. I heard the sound of the system coming from my ear. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for successfully making a video of a moon terrier, and getting a reward, 20 magic circuits. The reward this time is actually 20, it seems not bad. Well, I hope this video featuring Brother Go will arouse a good response. Ling Yu said so. At the same time, post the video on your screen. Pause time. Once again the screens of all worlds have changed. Moon Encyclopedia, Lancer is dead again, it's so inhuman. Look at these lines of big subtitles. Suddenly, everyone's curiosity was aroused again. This title. This stock should be a very interesting black history. But Lancer died again? This word is very spiritual. It's strange. In the Holy Grail War, the death of heroic spirits should be very common. It shouldn't be something like black history. Tohsaka Tokyomi said puzzledly. Hey? Is the protagonist of this meme video about Lancer? But with the word again, does it mean that Lancer has the ability to resurrect? Emi Yakiritsugu frowned. If it has the ability to resurrect, such a heroic spirit is indeed more difficult. But it's okay. I should be able to get some good information through this video. I don't know why. I always think this video will be very funny. Weber said with a smile. On the other side, the two sisters Tohsaka Rin and their mother Tohsaka Aoi also discovered a strange screen appeared in front of their eyes. This is... It seems that this time is finally a normal Holy Grail war. This is the most normal. How can there be no fighting in the Holy Grail war, Tatakai? Kenneth was very excited. In his opinion, there must be death in the Holy Grail war. What kind of Holy Grail war was that before? Presumably what follows must be a shocking battle. Thinking so, he cast his eyes on the screen in front of him. Chapter 23. Quickly. The screen began to change. The mysterious cat and coffee shop. It seems very peaceful here. It was so calm that everyone felt that it seemed a bit dignified here. After all, the word death appeared on the screen before. That means this Holy Grail war must not be easy. Quickly. Accompanied by the sound of mechanical starting. A cat-like bartender appeared on the screen. At this moment, he was holding a mixing glass in his hand. Suddenly. Bell, bell. The phone rang. Hello, this is Ananurb. Kotomine Kaire's voice came. Please order a takeaway mapo tofu, remember to add an extra serving of rice, and the address is a nearby church. In a trance. Everyone seemed